Continuing from the previous episode 960. Boom! At this time, a deafening voice slowly emanated from the Forest of Death. What is that? Not far from the Forest of Death, a group of people marched slowly, and the person who spoke was Xuanmu, the third prince of the Xuanling royal family, who is also the most favored by the Xuanling king. It is said that the Xuanling king is very likely past the bit with him. Reporting to the third prince, that place belongs to the Forest of Death. It is one of the places where Zhan Tiandian and the Ghost World fought. The movement just now was extremely terrifying. Perhaps it was caused by the entry of strong human beings to hunt and kill monsters. Let's go around. A follower laughed. Yes, Xuanmu gently agreed. That aura is very strong. When Xuanmu's voice just fell, a man in black beside him said vigilantly. Let's go. Fenxiang Heavenly Hall guys, this time, let's see how arrogant you are. Xuanmu glanced at him, then left here without stopping. Xuanmu left the Xuanling royal family this time, and was naturally sent by Xuanling king to prepare some things somewhere. Hey, I lived up to the expectations, and the Emperor Realm heavenly rank is complete. At this time, in the Forest of Death, Xiaoyan moved slowly, feeling the huge soul stone in his body. Joy poured out, and then he faced Xiaomu. Talk to the Golden Dragon King. At this time, the soul stone floated quietly in the soul realm, as if it was taking a step in evolution, that is, some strange changes would occur. At this time, relying on the soul power of Emperor Realm Heavenly Great Perfection, Xiaoyan is confident enough to instantly kill the middle stage powerhouse of the 7-star Do Emperor, and even relying on the soul power alone, it is worth fighting against the 8-star Do Emperor. The Emperor's heavenly level is perfect, and it is only one step away from the soul power of the Fairyland, but if you want to truly step into the Fairyland, I am afraid that the strength also needs to reach the Fighting Fairy, I remember. The Golden Dragon King Phantom floated in the void, scratching his head. Said, yep, indeed. Although my current soul power has reached the peak of the Emperor Realm, if I want to advance to the Alchemist level, it is closely related to my own strength. Xiaoyan said, according to Xiaoyan's guess, the Emperor level 1st grade Tiandian 3rd level pharmacist corresponds to the Emperor's mortal level soul power and the 1st to 3-star Do D, and the Emperor level 2nd grade pharmacist Tiandian corresponds to the Emperor's realm level soul power and the 4, 5, 6, 7-star fight. God, and so on. Although Xiaoyan's current strength has reached the peak of the Emperor's realm, but if he wants to step into the real peak of the 3rd grade alchemist of the Emperor's rank, I am afraid that the minimum strength is to reach the 9-star fighting Emperor. But that's enough. The alchemist level, the strength is enough. It will naturally improve. Now the powerful soul power is invincible among the peers. Xiaoyan smiled slowly. That's good. The Golden Dragon King and Xiaomu both looked at Xiaoyan with a smile in front of them, and some worries in their hearts were also swept away. Uncle Shi, Ancestor Xiaomu, you guys. Are you going to leave? After a while, Xiaoyan still asked. Well, it's almost time. The Golden Dragon King was suddenly speechless when asked by Xiaoyan, but Xiaomu slapped the Golden Dragon King's phantom with his hand and said, but before you leave, helping you break through your soul power can be considered a little hope for your kid. Xiaomu Zaidu said, by the way, the blood demon golden energy in the body. After a while, the Golden Dragon King broke through and said, Uncle Shi, seeing how the Golden Dragon King, who was always arrogant, looked very strange today, Xiaoyan couldn't help but feel a pain. Blood demon gold chi, that's the means of a strong gore fiend. How could it appear on this guy? Xiaomu wondered. Stop talking nonsense, solve it quickly. The Golden Dragon King seemed to be extremely impatient when asked by Xiaomu. Okay. Xiaomu also knew that this blood demon Jin Qi was no joke, so he had to pass by Xiaoyan. Actually, you can expel the gold Qi of the Gorefiend yourself, because you have the Holy Flame, but your strength is too weak to exert the power of the Holy Flame. It may be a little painful for a while, just do your best. Xiaomu said, thank you, Ancestor Xiaomu. Xiaoyan said with a hint of stubbornness in his pupils. I'm about to start. After Xiaomu finished speaking, a dazzling flame instantly emerged, and then directly tore Xiaoyan's shirt, revealing the extremely evil blood demon golden energy. It's such an evil Gorefiend gold chi. I'm afraid this is the means of the Gorefiend, the king of the Gorefiend clan. Xiao Mu just saw the evil aura attached to Xiao Yan's chest like a tarsal maggot. His face became solemn. Holy flame! Kuxi! Xiao Mu's huge flames continued to pour into Xiao Yan's chest, and the blood demon gold energy immediately shook violently when he felt the power of this huge fighting immortal. Every time the Gorfiend's golden chi trembled, it would bring Xiao Yan a pain that pierced into the bone marrow. Boy, are you all right? Xiao Mu also noticed Xiao Yan's change and asked. It's fine. Although Xiao Yan was in extreme pain, he forcibly held back the pain and said. Crash! Woo! After a short while, under Xiao Mu's powerful flame, the blood demon golden energy suddenly swept out of Xiao Yan's body, and then stared at Xiao Mu vigilantly. A mere blood fiend golden energy, but also delusional control of my people from the Xiao clan? Holy flame, destroy it for me. As Xiao Mu's majestic voice fell, the blood demon golden aura full of evil power was instantly destroyed. And just when the blood demon gold energy disappeared, somewhere in the dark place of the Xuanling royal family, an evil voice said, the blood demon gold energy I planted on that guy was actually removed. Although the blood demon golden energy is tyrannical, what kind of person is Xiao Mu? Xiao Mu's strength is extremely tyrannical. At his peak, he might have a 4-star or even a 5-star fighting immortal strength. Even if his current strength is less than 10, it is extremely easy to deal with a blood demon's golden energy. Don't completely resolve the blood demon's golden energy. Xiao Yan's body is also returning to normal, and then he gasps for breath. This kid, very good. Xiao Mu said slowly. It seems simple to take out the blood demon gold energy just now, but when it comes to that kind of inhuman pain, if it were Xiao Mu, he probably wouldn't be as determined as Xiao Yan, so he naturally praised Xiao Yan. Since the matter is over, then it's time to go. Xiao Mu glanced at the Golden Dragon King and Xiao Zhan, then looked at Xiao Yan. Ancestor Xiao Mu, Uncle Jinlong King, Ancestor Xiao Zhan. Xiao Yan said with a sour nose. Since breaking through the Doqi continent and came here, if it wasn't for the help of his uncle, the Golden Dragon King, I'm afraid I wouldn't be where I am today. So Xiao Yan's kindness to the Golden Dragon King is astonishingly the same as Yao Lao on the Doqi continent back then. A good man wants to be in all directions. See you next time, I'll tell you everything you want to know. But before that, you should cultivate well. The Golden Dragon King smiled, but his voice was a little choked. This disciple respectfully sends the 3 seniors. Xiao Yan's pupils were red, his nose was sour, and he knelt down forcefully. And the Golden Dragon King was directly included in his acceptance ring by Xiao Mu, and immediately took Xiao Zhan and a group of 3, and disappeared directly into the Forest of Death, leaving only Xiao Yan alone. Please remember the first domain name of this book. Mobile version reading website. M. Continuing from the previous episode 961. Quote. The silence lasted for a few minutes, and then Xiao Yan barely got up, looked at the place where the Golden Dragon King's uncle disappeared, and muttered. The uncle and the ancestors kept silent about the affairs of the Xiao family, probably because they were afraid that I would get involved in some trouble. But as far as I know, the disappearance of the Xiao clan must be related to the center of the human world, and the center of the human world is the existence of the strongest human beings. I need strength. Xiao Yan's pupils became firm again. He needs strength. We need the power to protect the color scales. It is necessary to find Zuner to find Zhu Kun and their power to save their Xiao clan. You can't make a big fat man in one bite, so now I'd better deal with the next sect competition. Then go to Zuner and Immortal Saint Yan. After that, maybe we can go to the powerful place that guarded our Xiao clan to get something back. Xiao Yan clenched his fists and said directly. Having an idea in his heart, he got up immediately. Instead of staying here, he headed out to the exit of the Forest of Death. Etc. This is the outermost part of the Xuanling continent, how can I go back? Suddenly, Xiao Yan seemed to think of something, and smiled bitterly. By the way, I heard from the Deputy Hall Master earlier that there is a seal around the Forest of Death that seals the entrance to the Ghost Realm. Where there is a teleportation array, you can go back to the Burning Incense Pavilion with this. There are still a few days before the sect competition will be fully opened. I hope it will be in time. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, he straightened his breath and headed towards the entrance to the seal of the Ghost World. Luoyuan Town. a small town lingering in the forest of death at the outermost edge of the Xuanling continent. The population of this small town is only a few hundred people, but what ordinary people do not know is that this is actually a resident of the Burning Incense Pavilion, because it is very close to a certain seal in the Ghost Realm, and it is also the only way to go to the sealed land at the entrance of the Ghost Realm. Therefore, the Fenxian Pavilion has set up a teleportation array here. First, it is to facilitate the experience of sect disciples, and secondly, it is also to restrict the guardianship of the ghost world. Zon 3 days. This town seems to be desolate. Xiao Yan did not rashly walk in the air, but chose to walk on foot. After all, no one knew whether there were any taboos in this town. At this time, Xiao Yan was still thousands of miles away from the town. He only knew it by his soul perception, but there seemed to be some other aura not far from the town. Humph. Run. Are you running? I told you a long time ago that if you provoke our Xuanling royal family, you all have to die. Not far from Xiao Yan, two sturdy men slowly surrounded a wounded man, and then said in a strange tone. A group of vermin horses. The man seemed to be seriously injured, but he still insisted. Captain, don't talk nonsense with him, solve him as soon as possible, and then go back to meet the third prince. This time, the sect competition must be a little more lively, so before coming out, my king also gave an order to kill these 7 people in one go. Another big man also laughed. Xiao Yan glanced at him, and didn't mean to go rashly. After all, Xiao Yan didn't have enough to eat, although dealing with the 2 powerhouses in the late stage of the 7-star Do Emperor was naturally no problem. However, the next scene surprised Xiao Yan. Merely in the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, you are not the opponents of the 2 of us in the late stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, not to mention that you are so seriously injured. Don't worry, I'm still reluctant to kill you now. Accept the sanctions. After the sturdy man at the head finished speaking, the huge axe in his hand suddenly lifted, and the steady stream of life force directly poured out, pointing at the injured man in front of him. Bastard. The man gritted his teeth, and then his eyes closed slightly. Go to hell. The sturdy man raised his giant axe, and a red glow roared towards the injured man. The strength of its attack was so strong that it might be able to hit the man in an instant. Feng Tianju. At this moment, the man's pupils turned red, and a murderous intent permeated the air. The strength of the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor was undoubtedly demonstrated, and as the voice fell, the space around him was suddenly filled with an abnormality. Blazing energy fluctuations. Crash! The dazzling second attack hit directly, and then a fiery heat wave slowly dispersed. Kid, die! Seeing that the second force had just hit, the figure of the sturdy man at the head flashed, the giant axe in his hand was directly raised, and the next time he turned around, he came to the injured man's side, and slashed out with an axe. A seemingly simple axe actually contains extremely powerful life force. This level of life force is enough to seriously injure an injured man. Not good. The injured man had just realized that something was wrong, and when he was about to mobilize his energy for defense, he felt a sense of weakness in his body. Obviously, he had used too much energy to escape from the pursuit. The giant axe filled with the smell of death kept expanding in the pupils of the injured man. In just a few breaths, it came to the injured man. Just one step forward, the injured man would be chopped into pieces in an instant. 2.5. A sense of powerlessness appeared in the injured man's pupils, as if a trace of madness appeared. Bang bang bang. Just when the injured man was at a loss, an attack hit the sturdy man's giant axe with good precision. Who? Seeing this, the sturdy big man couldn't help being vigilant, and then glanced around. Don't look for it, it's the one who took your life. A rather handsome figure slowly appeared in front of the 3 of them and said with a smile. The smiles were extremely bright, but the 2 sturdy men felt a shocking killing intent from the smiles. Little brother? The injured man reluctantly opened his eyes and then spoke up. Don't talk, you are seriously injured. This is a healing medicine. Xiao Yan glanced at the injured man, then said softly, and after speaking, he threw out a few medicinal pills. Hearing the words, the injured man didn't hesitate and swallowed the medicinal pill directly. After all, at this time, a dead horse could only be used as a living horse doctor. This medicine pill, it's so strong. Just after swallowing the medicinal pill turned into pure medicinal power, constantly nourishing the inside of his severely injured body. 7-star Do came out to be embarrassed in the early days. Your parents never taught you to do everything within your means? Captain, let me come and kill this ignorant boy. The other sturdy man was startled at first, and then laughed. This guy, it's not that simple, the sturdy captain said vigilantly. The tyrannical strength of his attack just now was no less than that of some late-stage 7-star Do Emperor attacks. It was definitely no accident that such a tyrannical attack was resisted by a guy in the early stage of 7-star Do Emperor. When did the dog of the Xuanling royal family become so mad? Xiao Yan finished speaking, and gently took off the ancient ruler of eternal fire from behind, and then said with a gloomy voice. A monstrous killing intent spread out. Genius remembers the address of this site in 1 second. Mobile version reading website. M. Continuing from the previous episode 962. Boy, you are courting death. Another sturdy big man heard that Xiao Yan had insulted their Xuanling royal family in such a way, and immediately became angry. A long spear appeared in his hand, his figure flashed, and he launched an attack on Xiao Yan. The gun is rerun. Another sturdy big man shouted loudly. A burst of blue light emerged from the long spear in his hand, and then directly attacked Xiao Yantian Lingai. Such a terrifying blow. If it hits, the consequences are unimaginable. Dang dang. Although the sturdy man's attack and strength were tyrannical, Xiao Yan's soul power was too strong. The sturdy man's attack was already seen through by Xiao Yan, so Xiao Yan gently lifted Yi Huoheng. Ji Yu Kai stopped his attack. How could it be? Seeing this, the sturdy big man couldn't help but say something. His attack is extremely powerful, and his moves are variable. Even the captain can't necessarily guess the number of his attacks. How could this guy in the early stage of the 7-star Do Emperor be so terrifying? Let's go up together, otherwise you will have no chance. Xiao Yan lifted the ancient ruler of Yuoheng, and immediately knocked the sturdy man back a few feet. I attacked the left, you attacked the right, and decided not to let these two guys run away. Otherwise we will all die. The two looked at each other, and then the sturdy captain said something, and then there was a trace of evil in the two of them. Power. To actually collude with the evil race from outside the territory, I really think highly of you. If that's the case, then let's play with you. A khaki flame suddenly appeared all over Xiao Yan's body. And this khaki flame just appeared, which immediately made the two sturdy men feel uncomfortable. Damn it, Captain. What kind of flame is this, so strong to suppress? Another subordinate said, this should be the flame that restrains the power in our body, be careful. Go! After the sturdy captain finished speaking, he immediately took the lead. The strength of these two guys should only be in the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor. It was only because the blood curse of the foreign evil race was added to their body that they soared to the late stage of the 7-star Do Emperor. But this skyrocketing strength is too floating. The corner of Xiao Yan's mouth moved. Be careful, little brother, the strength of these two is in the late stage of the 7-star Do D. The injured man's internal injuries were more than half healed, but seeing Xiao Yan like this, he couldn't help but speak out. Although until now, the injured man did not know why Xiao Yan wanted to save him. Boy, meddling with one's own affairs will kill you, the sturdy captain said, and the giant axe in his hand slammed down towards Xiao Yan, and a huge axe with the size of 100 meters roared out. There is not only a very high temperature above the axe, but also a very weak evil power. And that evil power Xiao Yan is no stranger to it. It seems to be the flavor of the Gorfiends. The first foot of the 7-layered sky-breaking ruler. 3-step swimming ruler. The khaki yellow holy flames appeared on Xiao Yan's body, and he snorted lightly. And as Xiao Yan's voice fell, the speed actually skyrocketed, breaking through the siege of the sturdy captain in a short period of time, and then heading off towards another sturdy man. Xiao Yan's purpose is very simple. Kill the weak first and then deal with the strong. With the huge soul power, Xiao Yan can know that although the two in front of them both belong to the late stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, the strength of the sturdy captain can be said to be at the peak of the late stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, while the other one has just stepped into it. So naturally there are trade-offs. Not good. The sturdy big man watched his attack go into the air, and immediately realized something. His eyes suddenly turned to the other side of himself, and shouted, be careful. Late. Second foot. The waves are stacked 1,000 feet. A frivolous voice sounded slowly. And the voice just sounded, and suddenly, in this space, countless huge shadows appeared, and then suddenly merged together, appearing in Xiao Yan's hands, and they split out with 1 foot, which is earth-shattering. Plop! With such a terrifying blow, the sturdy man didn't have time to be surprised and defended, and he died instantly. Not even a trace of scum was left. "You bastard! Go to hell!" Seeing that his subordinates were instantly destroyed, the sturdy captain roared in anger. "Don't worry, it will be your turn soon." Xiao Yan took back the ancient ruler of eternal fire and confronted this guy. Bastard **** bastard. The sturdy big man used 3 *** in a row, showing how angry he was. "Boy, I didn't want to use that thing, you forced me." After the sturdy man finished speaking, a mysterious bloodstain flashing with countless evils suddenly appeared in the palm of his hand. Above the bloodstain, circles of evil and extremely disgusting aura permeated. "Second-class blood curse," Xiao Yan said with an uneven expression. "Ever since the ruins of the Bright Moon, I have vaguely known that the Xuanling royal family seems to have colluded with the foreign evil clan, but Xiao Yan has never imagined that the way of this foreign evil clan's collusion is so thorough that even such a small team leader has blood. Curse. Imperial Seal, Kai." The sturdy captain didn't seem to know that it was a blood curse, so he muttered. And as the sturdy captain finished talking, the blood curse turned into a dazzling power, which continuously gathered in his body. At the same time, its strength also skyrocketed. In a short period of time, it broke through the late stage of the 7-star Do Emperor and reached the level of the 7-star Do Emperor consummation, but the breath was full of evil. "Boy, suffer." The sturdy big man whose strength skyrocketed because of the use of the blood curse raised the giant axe in his hand and said fiercely to Xiao Yan. "Before it was changed, maybe I would be at a loss, but now the huge power of the soul is coupled with the holy flame that restrains the evil race outside the territory. A mere 7-star Do D is complete. What are you afraid of?" Xiao Yan's pupils showed a trace of fiery heat, and then he tightly held the ancient ruler of the eternal fire in his palm, and dazzling holy flames continued to emerge. A dazzling holy flame emerged, with a faint aura of suppressing the strength of the sturdy man. Ling Tian Zan, the sturdy man's *** axe slashed down at Xiao Yan. The difference is that the strength of this attack is far more powerful than before. "The 4th foot, the sky-shattering ruler." Xiao Yan's voice suddenly appeared, as if blasting through the sky, it echoed. Boom! An incomparably huge beam of 100 feet, facing the power of holy flame, which evolved into evil, suddenly hit the sturdy captain. So strong. This was the first reaction of the sturdy captain. Even if he used the Emperor's seal to strengthen his strength, he didn't seem to be a match for the guy in front of him. "It's better to go first. This guy is too strong." The intention to retreat was born in his heart, and he immediately launched an attack in Du, and immediately prepared to escape. Huang Quan, Heaven's Wrath. Just when the sturdy captain was distracted, a deadly soul attack silently hit the sturdy captain's soul center. The next moment, the sturdy captain of the big man fell from the air like a dead dog, and his whole body was indifferent. Thundering means to kill the late-stage 2-star 7-star Do D, such a strong little guy. And the face of the injured man also became solemn and joyful at this time. Genius remembers the address of this site in 1 second. Mobile version reading website. M. Continuing from the previous episode 963. Hoo. Xiao Yan shook his head as he saw that the two of them were killed by his own attack without leaving any ambiguity. Xiao Yan is vigilant by nature, and naturally he will not let such an enemy escape. Since they are in bad relations, they can only kill them completely, otherwise they will be troublesome in the future. Of the 2 sturdy men, one of the sturdy men had been killed by Xiao Yan, and there was no scum left, while the other captain of the sturdy man was seriously injured by Xiao Yan, and he was no different from a dead man. In fact, Xiao Yan did not expect that his strength had skyrocketed so much. As for the root cause of this surge, it is the power of the soul. The power of the soul has reached the emperor level, so the power of life and even the fighting skills displayed at this time are several times stronger than before, so these 2 strong men in the late stage of the 7-star fighting emperor died so wrongly. Xiao Yan does possess the highest level of life power, but Xiao Yan found that this highest level of life power does not seem to be as strong as his own emperor or even holy flame, so naturally he rarely uses it. However, it cannot be without the power of life. After all, The power of life is the foundation for future breakthroughs, so since the power of life was born, it was shelved by Xiao Yan. Dare to ask the little brother's name? The injured man was extremely shocked after seeing Xiao Yan teasing and killing the two sturdy men with ease. You must know that the two in front of them are strong men in the late stage of the 7-star Do Emperor, so being killed by the guy in front of them must have caused a lot of shock to the injured man. The mere guys in the early stage of the 7-star Do Emperor could so effortlessly kill two late-stage 7-star Do Emperor powerhouses, the horror of which, but only the injured man himself knew. In addition, adding Xiao Yan's tone towards the two Xuanling royal family just now, the injured man guessed that this guy must have a lot of grievances towards the Xuanling royal family. It's no wonder that the injured man thought so. After all, Xiao Yan was almost killed when he went to soak in the Xuanling Imperial Pond, and the Xuanling royal family has a bad relationship with the Fenxiang Pavilion and the Medusa family. The Medusa family is now the queen, it is also his own wife, so all kinds of things, naturally have a deep grievance against the Xuanling royal family. My name is Xiao Yan. Xiao Yan gently came to the injured man's side and said after helping him up. Xiao Yan? The injured man looked at Xiao Yan so enthusiastically, and immediately felt a little embarrassed. He didn't know what medicine Xiao Yan was selling in the gourd, but after hearing his name, he exclaimed. Is that Xiao Yan who successfully cultivated in the hall of Fenxiang Pavilion and broke the record of the cultivation cave? The injured man was obviously agitated and said, Yep, senior brother, it should be someone from the Heavenly Palace, right? Xiao Yan agreed and then asked. Not bad, not bad. The injured man was relieved when he heard the words. It's no wonder that Xiao Yan just saw that he was being plotted and ignored, and then came back after he displayed the treasure of the Heavenly Palace. The relationship is a family. Xiao Yan, since it's a family, I won't beat around the bush, I'll just say it straight. The injured man's face suddenly became solemn and he said, Senior brother, please tell me. Xiao Yan looked at this guy so solemnly, and immediately realized that something might have happened. My name is Duan Yu, and I am the weakest person among the 7 people in the Heavenly Palace. The injured man said slowly. It turned out to be senior brother Duan Yu. Xiao Yan clasped his fists and smiled. About the 7 people in the Heavenly Palace, Xiao Yan naturally heard about it when he was in the Burning Incense Pavilion. The 7 people in the Heavenly Palace are all powerful people who have stepped into the level of the 7-star Do Emperor, and this piece of jade is impressively among the 7 people in the Heavenly Palace. The weakest one, however, even the weakest one has the strength of the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor. As for the strongest elder brother in the Heavenly Palace, it is said that he has the strength close to the perfection of the 7-star Do Emperor. Senior brother Duan, I remember that the master said, didn't you go to guard the seal at the entrance of the ghost world? How could they be chased by those two? Xiao Yan asked. It's a long story. At the beginning, the palace master sent us to guard the entrance to this ghost world. He wanted to experience us, but we didn't expect that we would discover a shocking secret. This secret is related to the Xuanling royal family, so they want to kill people to silence them. Duan Yu said, What secret? Xiao Yan exclaimed. The ghost realm and our Xuantian Santian have been incompatible since ancient times, and the Xuanling royal family actually secretly colluded with the ghost realm powerhouses to try to occupy our Xuantian. Duan Yu said extremely angrily. It seems that there should be several factions in the Xuanling royal family. Xiao Yan nodded slightly after hearing this. In the beginning, the Soul Clan, the Angry Winter of the Medusa Clan, plus the Ghost Realm Powerhouse, and the Foreign Evil Clan that Xiao Yan discovered now. All of these indicate that the Xuanling royal family is not simple. By the way, junior brother Xiao Yan, let's go to the sect for help quickly, otherwise senior brothers and the others will have an accident. Duan Yu said hurriedly, as if thinking of something. This place is too far from the sect. Brother, you should take me there. It just so happens that I have some grudges with the Xuanling royal family. Xiao Yan said, but they have 8-star Do D level powerhouses in charge, no way. Duan Yu refused directly. Senior brother, let's go, now we can only use dead horses as living horse doctors. 8-star Do D, it's not impossible to fight. Xiao Yan said with a smile. Oh, let's go, I'll take you there. Duan Yu also knew that going to the sect from here, I was afraid that his senior brother had been killed by the Xuanling royal family, so he could only pin his hopes on Xiao Yan and bring him with him. Xiao Yan walked towards a mountainside. The two concealed their breath along the way, and slowly walked towards their destination. The aura here is so strange. Xiao Yan looked around vigilantly, and found that since entering this forest, his aura was extremely eerie, and it seemed to be very ghostly. This is an extremely important one of the entrances to the ghost world. You brothers are guarding the entrance with all your strength, but they were secretly attacked by the members of the Xuanling royal family, so they desperately sent me out for help. And here is very close to the seal, so there are many ghosts permeating. Naturally this is the case. Duan Yu explained. How is their overall strength? Xiao Yan still asked. After all, knowing the strength, he has confidence in his heart. When I was leaving, the two 8-star Do Di attacked the senior brothers. Later, they became more powerful, and I was sent out by them before I could figure out the status. I didn't see the other thoughts clearly. Duan Yu thought for a while and said, 2 8-star fighting emperors? Xiao Yan was slightly surprised when he heard this. If there is an 8-star fighting emperor, Xiao Yan should have the possibility to use his means. If there are 2, it will be troublesome. Eldest brother seriously injured an 8-star Do emperor, so they should only have 1 8-star Do emperor who can fight, but the senior brother is also seriously injured. Duan Yu said, in that case, let them see. My people from Burning Incense Pavilion are not so easy to bully. After Xiao Yan finished speaking, he went directly with Duan Yu towards the depths of the forest, where is the entrance to the ghost world where the seal is. Today's 3 shifts, adding updates to the previous December's 10,000 rewards. Continuing from the previous episode 964. He, the third prince, looking at the appearance, the 6 people in the heavenly palace should not be able to support it for a long time. In a rather dark mountain forest, surrounded by a dark air mass, and a piece of air appeared inside it. Space. The center of the open space has an area of about 100 meters. There is a dry well in the center. The dry well sinks into the ground. The prominent wellhead is square, and a hidden mysterious rune on the edge of the wellhead slowly creeps, and under the creep, it seems that suppressing something that is just around the corner. In addition, at the mouth of the well, ghost chi gushed out. The ghost chi seemed to be extremely dark, extremely eerie, and at this time around the dry well, 6 figures were sitting on the ground, their fingers connected to their hearts, tightly surrounding the dry well. The dazzling rays of light on the 6 people formed a strange formation, which tightly surrounded the dry well. However, the 6 people all had some scars to varying degrees, and their breath was a little sluggish. Obviously they were injured to varying degrees. I don't want it to last long. These 7 people must die, otherwise they will be left alone. When a no pupil appears in the Fenxiang Pavilion, it will be a disaster for our Xuanling royal family. The third Prince Xuanmu said solemnly. As for Yin Tong, Xuanmu still has a fresh memory. He refused to let such a genius appear in the Fenxiang Pavilion. The last time he used up almost most of the power of their Xuanling royal family to forcefully eliminate Yin Tong, although this matter is still going on. The people in Burning Incense Pavilion were kept in the dark, but Xuanmu was also afraid. According to Xuanmu's guess, King Xuanling will announce his abdication after playing for a long time. At that time, King Xuanling's seat will be his own, so he must get rid of the Burning Incense Pavilion. Third Prince, rest assured, only one of the 7 escaped, and the one who escaped was the weakest among the 7. I have already sent 2 late-stage 7-star Do Emperor experts to hunt them down. I believe it will not take long. It will be successful, said the man in black. Everything depends on the deputy head. Zhan Mu glanced at him, and knew that the status of the 2 in front of him was not low, and he would be his right-hand man in the future, so he didn't ask questions. The 2 people in front of them are impressively the 2nd captain of the Wolf Eagle Legion, the 3 major legions of the Xuanling royal family. Apart from the head and the deputy head, the 2 of them should be regarded as the strongest among the Wolf Eagle Corps. The real names of the 2 have disappeared, but the code names are adopted, namely Wolfhead and Wolf Dragon. In the early stage of the 8-star Do Di. But I have to say that the strength of the 7 people in the Heavenly Palace is beyond my expectations. Our 2 8-star fighting emperors, 3 7-star fighting emperors who were successful, and 5 7-star fighting emperors in the late stage of such a huge lineup almost had an accident, said the man in black. The Wolf Dragon was seriously injured by the elder brother of Tiandian, and lost his fighting power, so he could only cultivate on the side. This time, if it wasn't for the help of the two captains, I'm afraid it would be extremely difficult to subdue these 6 people. After the completion of the matter, the benefits will naturally come from all of you. Zan Mu said to a group of strong people around him. Despicable. At this moment, among the 6 people surrounding the well, the only woman spoke softly, her voice full of disgust. A group of 7 of them were attacked by the people of the Xuanling Emperor. If it wasn't for the support of a powerful formation left by Zhu Jin at the end, I'm afraid they would have become the turtles in the urn of the Xuanling Emperor. Hey, it is rumored that Luan Yu in the temple of Fenxiang Pavilion is as beautiful as a heavenly fairy. When I see it today, it really lives up to its reputation. Xuanmu smiled in the face of the woman's disgust, without any displeasure. This woman's name is Luan Yu. She is the 5th-ranked powerhouse in the hall today, and she is also the middle stage of the 7-star Do Emperor. Luan Yu wore a tool to show off her graceful figure to the fullest. Because of the injury, her cheeks were flushed with a hint of ruddy, and she added a fluffy dress to look like a porcelain doll that came out of the portrait. Xuanmu, your Xuanling royal family actually colluded with the ghost realm. You violated our Xuanxin Santian rules. If this matter is passed back to the sect, you will definitely die. At this time, it seemed that Xuanmu was aware of the view of Xuanmu. Luan Yu's eyes were wrong, and the 3rd hungry man said. This man's name is Huang Kong, and he is the 3rd-ranked powerhouse in the Temple of Heaven, and his strength has reached the late stage of the 7-star Do Emperor. Don't worry, this matter was spread back, because you all have to die. And you actually told me, rules? It's ridiculous. The rules are all made by the strong. As long as the strength is enough, they can be changed. Xuanmu heard the words and sneered in disbelief. Luan Yu and Huang Kong glared at each other when they heard the words. Calm down, adjust your breath, and don't let this guy affect your mind. If our formation is influenced by its mind, it may be that the entrance to the ghost world will be lost, and then they will really be achieved by their conspiracy and tricks. At this moment, the man who was the first among the 6 was an understatement. Said, I have been taught. Seeing this, the other 5 senior brothers nodded. The 7 of them have gone through a lot together, so of course they absolutely trust each other this time. Humph. Mu Tianyuan, don't think that your senior brother from the heavenly palace can save you from danger this time. This time, not only are you going to die, but when the Ghost World Army marches into Xuanxin Santian, you will also die in the Burning Incense Pavilion. Xuanmu snorted coldly. This doesn't leave you worrying if you want to unlock the seal. You have to step over my body. The leading senior brother said lightly, but the pride between the lines could not be concealed. You're still stubborn when you're about to die. Give it to me. Xuanmu couldn't help saying coldly when he heard this. 3rd Prince, why don't we wait? This formation is really weird. If it is forced to break through, I'm afraid it will cause a lot of losses. The man in black on the other side, Btth2, said, obviously these powerhouses brought this time are the backbone of their Xuanling royal family, Btth2. Naturally, I don't want to lose for no reason. Give it to me, I will bear any loss. After Xuanmu finished speaking, a black scroll suddenly appeared on the palm of his hand, and the scroll was densely covered with extremely thick ghosts. As long as this thing is thrown into the entrance of the seal of the ghost world, then the seal will be completely broken, and then the powerhouses of the Blood River continent of the ghost world will enter Zan Santian. Eldest brother, 7th brother, will he come back? At this time, even Huang Kong couldn't help but ask. Yes. Before the senior brother could speak, Luan Yu, who was next to him, spoke softly, his voice full of firmness. If that's the case, let's fight. Seeing this, a group of strong men around Xuanmu urged the extremely tyrannical energy of life to attack the formation of Mu Tianyuan's 6 people. At the same time, in the strange ghostly atmosphere, 2 figures slowly emerged like ghosts, but they were not discovered by anyone. :